Hey, how you doing, Snow?
I'm good, MJ. How are you?
Hey, don't mind the background noise. We're doing our first live show at Black Bridge Brewery.
One of our favorite places in Kingman.
Right,
We have some
the
friends
best place in Kingman.
visiting
Yes,
too.
yeah. Hey, say hi, buddy.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, we'll go around the
What's
table.
it? Yeah, go ahead and introduce
Yeah,
yourselves.
we got Aaron as usual.
Yes, I'm down here. One of my favorite places to go. I probably shouldn't be down here. I've been strongly suggested not to be here, not because of legal things, because, alcoholism and all. But at the same time, it was a good reason to get out and go outside and do a podcast and drink.
Okay.
Is that why Stephanie's not here?
We should.
Okay. All right,
Next.
Shawna.
Moving right along, folks.
I'm Shawna, tattoo artist in Kingman.
Where?
At Get Inked.
I like your lobster.
Thank you.
Hey, and how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Svacina.
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 I always mess that up.
Is that? Am I going to sound stupid if I say this? Is that Russian?
It's Czech. It's close.
Czech. Okay.
Yeah.
Svacina. I like it.
It means midnight snack, so that's a fun last name for a chubby chick.
I used to always think it was Svacina or something like that. I used to pronounce it like that.
You can say it
But
two different ways. Here
Oh,
in
okay.
the States, they say it that way, but it's Svacina.
okay, cool.
Okay, we got Pete from Shady Grove Records.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
Same old stuff.
And we have Chris from the Swillers.
Yay.
Hey,
Hey,
I love the
That's
Swillers.
enthusiasm.
I know I should be way more enthusiastic.
The Swillers are
32
great.
ounces of cold brew.
Nice.
Coffee.
Do
All
it.
right.
Just kidding.
From the human being.
Yeah, don't say anything, but I wouldn't say it's that great, but
It's
my,
okay.
my window's broken. I can just walk up to the window, or the window in my car is broke, so.
Oh,
can just get
okay.
out of the car and
they
walk
do
up to the
have
window.
walk up. Yeah.
All right, first,
You do walk up there?
all right, first
I've
off,
never been there.
get this out of the way.
agree.
We made the national news this week because of the fire.
You and me, or
No, not
oh.
you and I. I mean, Howard
Wishful
Stern
thinking.
Howard
Wishful
Stern listens,
thinking,
but
dude. Okay. No, because of our fire.
the
Right.
fire.
I know a fire in my favorite place other than my house and BBB, the Wallapies. Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah, got
But-
1,400 acres.
But it got put out by rain and snow.
Well, no, I got contained.
Oh, it's not out all the way?
No, it's only like 34% contained.
God, fire is powerful.
The center's still burning.
Have they found out what started it yet? Because I have a couple of theories, but
I read that it was that it was
Yeah,
from a campfire,
okay, that's
which is
what I
normal.
thought.
I mean, it's camping season. It's
But-
I'm sure it started out in Wild Cow, that area. That's where all the kids go to drink
Right.
and have campfires, and that's what we did anyway. So
That's exactly what I thought too, because the park, when you go up to the park, because I go up hiking a lot, so you gotta like go all the way through the park. And for the past 2 weeks before that, it was like extreme fire danger, strictly no campfires. So I was like, I'm sure that people were like, "You're not telling me I'm not having a campfire," and they went out to Wild Cow and had one anyways.
yeah.
they did
Yeah.
pub a public service announcement of to be careful of your ATVs though out there, because exhaust can catch the
Right.
high grass on fire. So I mean that was the other rumor of how it started.
Wasn't there a fire like 6 years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago, that was just as bad?
Less than that.
Yeah, because
It was on the south side of the
I remember like coming home and just like the whole mountain on fire.
Right, and you could see it coming over
This
the
was
mountain.
that fire was on the Boreana Mine roadside.
Okay.
So and it was the same thing. It was
Papayaka.
that one was started by lightning storms.
Oh, okay.
The thing is that when you populate a mountainous area, what happens is you prevent the natural cycle of underbrush burning out through natural forest fires happening. So you get this huge buildup, and it just becomes a tinderbox, and eventually it's going to go up. I mean, it happens. So, it's an unfortunate thing, and I'm glad that nobody there hasn't been major damage up there. But I mean, we're gonna we're going to see the damage up there for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of the trees have been like really taken advantage of by the bark beetles up there too. Because I've been hiking a couple weeks, so everything had been just so dry up there, so it's not really surprising.
Well, you were hiking
it
up
did
there.
happen.
You were hiking up there that morning.
Yeah,
Right in that area.
Yeah, because 2 hours after I came home, I walked out on my porch and I'm like, holy shit, there's now a fire. It wasn't going on when I was up there, but
Well, a lot of
crazy.
it was in that, a lot of those hiking trails in that part is what got burned.
Yeah, I haven't been up there since, so I don't know which trails.
It
What the
spread,
trails
spread
look
through
like.
the whole park, like all the way up through Rotary 3 and all the way up to the Aspen Peak Trail. I think most of that is.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Did it ruin, like, the cabins, too? Did it burn down?
No, I don't think it burnt
I don't
any
think
of the
so.
cabins.
Okay.
I've been searching. Did it get Camp Levy Levy?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
And I've heard rumors about that. I'm like, oh
I've
my
had a few
God.
people on my Facebook that were Facebook friends that said, "Oh man, the Boy Scout camp, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that was in danger because it's so far up there." But I honestly don't know.
There were a lot of rumors online that I think
I'd say
were
it's
just-
Right. That was the craziness of that night. It was last Sunday night when it was going crazy and everybody was posting that the lodge burned down and
I know. Yeah, somebody put that, and I was like,
Well, I deleted it because I really thought that had happened.
no, I don't think it was you.
And,
I think it was someone else that did
Someone
it.
commented right after, we haven't confirmed that, so I deleted it right away. I thought it was like a confirmed thing.
I'll tell you how it comes
And
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I didn't see yours. It was somebody else. I know for sure that did put that the lodge burned down. And I was like, I don't think you should put that on there. But it wasn't yours.
No.
well, at least it got contained fairly quickly because that's our getaway.
I have
it was
seen like
fortunate that the
Romance. Thoughtfulness.
I have seen a bunch of the
Your eyes.
Hey man,
I think
You're
they're
seeking.
fellow like fire departments that have come in to help. I've seen them like every day when I come home from work. Like I see all the trucks. I'm like, oh, thank God, maybe that's fixing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like so worried. But
Yeah. So on a better note, next Saturday night, to be May 8th, the Swillers make their return.
Woo! I know, huh? Woo!
how long has it been?
We actually haven't really played in
Beat it, kid.
over a year. It's been about a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it should be fun. I mean, we practiced and we somewhat have it together. So, I guess that's good. We got that going for us.
So the Swillers never actually broke up or
No,
anything.
the Swillers are going to be one of those bands that'll just never
Right.
break up.
The greatest
People
cover
will
band
come
in
or
Arizona.
people will go. Once a Swiller, always a Swiller. That's why whenever we used to do the Christmas parties till the whole COVID thing happened, it's like everybody that was ever in the band just comes back and we do the whole show. And it's one of those things,
Right.
Do you ever was the COVID shutdown thing rough? Being a musician, not being able to get out there and play.
Oh yeah, like for a lot of bands in Vegas, I know it was because that's their job. Like I know a lot of cover bands that's all they do, like night after night, 7 days a week or 5 or 6 days a week. I mean, they're just musicians. That's their day jobs. Me, I'm just a hack, and it's just a side gig to make extra money and stuff. So I mean, it didn't really kill me because once the whole COVID thing quit, I just started listening to a bunch of like gypsy jazz and formed another band and just played in the garage. So
What's the other band?
Ghost with Murder.
Yeah.
So it's like a punk rock, folky, jazzy
Yay!
shenanigan thing.
Have you had a chance to play with them yet?
Oh yeah, we played here at Black Bridge in last November.
Where were we?
I don't know.
I don't know if you were friends on my Facebook. I posted all about it.
I guess we weren't vaccinated or something.
I know. Is there?
That's why we have
is
immunity-
there a page
immune
on
system.
Facebook? Am I like in? I'm really crappy with technology, anyways. Like,
I don't think we're friends.
but I know
I've
we
known
should
you for
become
like
friends.
how long? I'm hot chicks, man.
I wasn't even gonna say that because I didn't want to.
What was it? No, what's that?
It's an inside joke.
Oh yeah. This is from years and years.
Well,
Can we not say?
I used to be a roadie for a band, a local band, a long time ago. Really Rare Steak, long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
They're long gone, but yeah. So I was their roadie, and I remember Chris. What band were you in at that time?
Me and Eric were in Dead Ends. That was our little first cover
Okay,
band.
and Eric was also in Really Rare Steak.
Yeah.
Which is, and Chris was like, "How do you guys have all these hot chicks that are like
I was
hanging
pretty
out
much
with you?"
trying to
So
get
we
them
just
to
started
flash
calling
me
them
all the
hot
time,
chicks.
and it just never worked out. I think one time they did, and it was just bra, and I was just like, oh.
Me and one of the guys' wives were like, "We're just gonna call him Hot Chicks," because we kept like, I mean, you have a few beers, you forget people's names, so we're like, "Oh yeah, Hot Chicks." So it's like, it's a silly story.
Oh yeah.
And how come you not got friends on Facebook?
I don't, because I'm bad about that stuff. And then a lot of times when it puts up in my feed, like people you might know, they're people I don't know. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I always get those like.
Yours doesn't ever pop up in mine? I don't know why.
You pop up mine all the time. I was just like, maybe she don't like me anymore.
Then why didn't you friends request me? I didn't get a friends request.
Because I'm famous. Famous people don't.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
with the
okay.
Swillers.
I'm just playing
Excuse
around.
me.
No, I'm just playing around.
Do you know that I have a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm
Our
just-
podcast has been heard in 29 countries around the world.
And counting.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
I know.
Well, hey, maybe we'll pick up some because we got the Swillers on.
I know. Yeah.
Or you're gonna lose
we're
a lot
gonna-
of fans. That's how
Okay.
it works.
How many people are in the Swillers? How many band members?
It's 5 right
Five,
now,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
6 sometimes when you guys have a saxophone. dude.
Yeah, 6. Sometimes when we have El Jefe comes
Yeah.
down and plays sax.
Cool.
He doesn't practice with us. He just shows up with the saxophone. And
It's been
good.
all in incarnations at one point, from 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece, 6-piece,
oh yeah.
back to
Hopefully,
3, back
hopefully
to
by
5,
the
back to 4.
in like the next 5 years we'll have like a xylophone player and a whole horn
Oh, my
section.
kid plays xylophone.
Can I do cowbell?
Yeah. Some interpretive dancers or something.
I've never seen the Swillers with brass, and that's one of the things I've always wanted to see.
Well, we actually did 25 or 6 to 4 with kazoos.
Are you?
Which kazoos? I'm not sure if they're made of brass.
It's a
I think
kazoo,
I
but
think it's wax paper and plastic. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's the same.
It's almost
same
a brass
general idea.
instrument.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
god!
that was fun. Doing some.
Please
Chicago
tell me
with some-
somebody recorded this.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody did or not, but it was awesome.
Damn it!
It's my favorite. One of my favorite Chicago songs.
Chicago.
Can you reenact that Saturday night? I'll film it for YouTube.
Oh gosh. You don't want that. Maybe busting out "Rain and Blood" by Slayer though.
Nice.
That might
Julia's
actually
gonna
happen.
Julia's gonna sing.
I don't think so. She'll just stand there and look at us like we're stupid. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Don't make me look bad. Julia's not like that.
Who else is playing with you that night?
Evil Empire, which is the Rage Against the Machine band.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, cool.
And then Souls Condemned, which is a metal band, and they're pretty cool. They're good. And then Good Heart, who's pretty good because they got good hearts. Hence the name Good Heart.
How's Evil Empire? How does Lee do with the vocals
How does
on
Lee
that?
do? Oh, he does great.
Lee rocks. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a good
Awesome.
time, man.
Yeah,
he's,
yeah.
he's great stage presence.
I'm just hoping that he's gonna cut his chest one time and like
Right,
like a Iggy
right.
Pop thing.
Exactly,
Punch
'cause-
his teeth out or something.
Oh.
That's not a bad idea.
I
Actually,
know.
something that we should throw into the works is do an Iggy Pop tribute band with Lee as the singer, because he can really. I mean,
He could
obviously
pull off
he's
Iggy.
30 years younger. He could pull off a young Iggy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can
just
take
has
his shirt
that
off.
look.
He's got
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
They
We should
look
do that. That'd be the next
similar.
That'd be great, man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? We could just do
Even
like
their
raw
faces
power, like
look
start to
similar.
finish.
Yeah, I'm
It's
down.
fucking
Let's
beautiful.
do it. All right.
Yeah. That's a thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just heard it, folks.
Yeah.
New band. Just been formed.
You're welcome, Lee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Lee's been volunteered.
Yeah, Lee's been volunteered.
Dude, I saw Rage at Woodstock 99. It was epic.
Never got to see Rage
I never saw him either. I had so many chances to see him. They used to play Vegas.
all the time.
Yeah, Vegas and Phoenix, and it was just always like, I was too.
And then
I was too
everyone
gutter
hated
How would you
like,
speak up, Aaron?
I listen to the Tom Morello show on like
I was
Sirius
gonna say,
Radio.
everyone knows I have a
And
crush on Tom Morello by this
He
point.
brings
Like,
in some.
if you listen,
He was listening to some
I love
bands
him.
today, and I'm just like,
And
I
his
love listening
mom.
to new music.
Have
Yeah,
you
and he
ever heard
brings
it when
his
his mom's on? She's the best.
I can't imagine my mom. Well, I can, but going, holy shit! You know what? He's doing a really awesome job at this, and I totally agree with him. You know, I have conflicts with my family, but doing a radio show
I know. I will always love
with your
Tom Morello
parents
because
who are
he
totally like in on
goes
it, like
to the Teamster
I
conventions.
saw Tom
and
Morello.
performs.
He subbed on guitar for Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
That was
What?
pretty cool.
sweet.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't even know that.
I did not either.
Look up
Boss.
the Ghost of Tom Joad on YouTube with Tom Morello and Springsteen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's epic.
I think I've heard them play that on Sirius, on
Yeah.
Bruce's channel, because I have it like programmed in.
The last tour that I missed, and it was the last tour that Rage did and the Beastie Boys did. They did in Foxborough at the old Patriot Stadium, and it was
Beastie
Rage
Boys.
with Beastie Boys,
That would be cool.
which would have been an awesome show.
I like that. I like that name, The Ghost of Tom Joad. It's a Steinbeck reference to
Right, yeah.
Grapes of Wrath. So,
Yeah. So Pete,
what's going on?
Shady Grove Records.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
How'd that start?
so you know, I've been a record collector for 25 or 26 years, and since I was a kid, and stole my mom's records, and just kind of really just fell in love with the whole idea behind vinyl and that tangible format of music, and just seen it grow and diminish and grow and diminish. And you know, we had moved away from Kingman, my wife and I, about 10 or 11 years ago, and we would come back every year for, you know, multiple times a year for holidays, and we go out and see everybody and have a beer. And it's like, I remember like asking Chris, like at one, like, where do you guys buy music now, dude? Like, he's like, well, Hastings closed, so we kind of just have to either order it online or go to Vegas, you know, or hope that there's something like at the thrift store or a vintage shop or something like that. I'm like, man, there's no store that's dedicated just to providing people with something to listen to. That's just kind of a bummer. Like, every town should have that. And so we had a chance to move back for my wife's work, and you know, she's like, well, because I've been a painter for like 25 years also, and she's like, are you just going to go back to painting when we go back to Vegas? I'm like, yeah, you know, I think I'm going to open a record store. She's like, no shit. I said, yeah. She's like, all right, do it. I'm like, done. You said it. No taking it back. So we did it. So
That's
I think it's cool because I've always thought that Kingman needed a record store downtown. I'm like,
we had one for years.
Oh, yeah.
Boulevard Tapes.
Yeah.
Boulevard Tapes and Records was the mainstay in Kingman long before you know, we ever had Hastings. That was the place to go, and then they closed down. And
that must have been before I moved
Was that
here.
the one like right downtown where
It's
the
like
art
over-
gallery is?
yeah, exactly.
That's where I bought my
across the
first cassette.
across the
tape.
street from Sea Dog Merchants, right there.
Yeah.
There's like that art frame shop, and then there's a pet grooming place. It was like
Yeah, I was like in the
right
early,
there. I
early
remember
90s. Huh?
when I was a freshman in high school, they were still open. We used to walk, you know, because lunch hour at KHS used to be open campus, so you used to be able to leave for an hour and come back. So we would like go down to the park, have a hobo buy us a beer, slam a tall boy, smoke a bowl, and then go to Boulevard to, you know.
to fuck off until you had to go
Right,
back
and
to
then it was like,
school.
okay, go back to school. Who's got Tic
Can I
Tacs?
have biology class?
Yeah, exactly. Going, you know,
Records
got to go to fifth hour. Mr.
Going to
Olivas' health
dissect
class.
frogs high as fuck.
Try and look straight.
These are all true stories from my
Jeremy,
high
are you
school.
fucked up?
Holy
Go walk the
shit.
track. Like, oh shit. You just sit out in the dugout and smoke cigarettes, and
I lost my glasses because you just described like
it's everybody. You know, it's like, you know, I was king.
Even if you didn't live in
Yeah.
Kingman,
Yeah.
that was
That's
my
everywhere.
experience in Phoenix.
Right. I mean, that was it. That's what you did when you were a kid, you know? I mean, or we did anyways, you know?
Yeah, there was nothing like record stores. Like, I used to live in Manchester, New Hampshire. My mom moved in with her boyfriend in Nashua, which is about 30 miles south. So what I would do is I would take the bus from Nashua to Manchester because I didn't feel like switching high schools in my senior year. And there was a record store right next to the bus stop. So every Tuesday I went down because new releases came out on Tuesdays and see what came out. And I remember this was like I graduated in '87, so that was when all hair metal was out and stuff like that. I remember like getting Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue the day it came out. Poison. Yes. I have great Poison stories.
Yeah, my first the first cassette that I think I ever bought at Boulevard Tapes, I was probably, I think I was 12 or 13 years old. It was the year that Goodfellas came out. And at the end, the closing credits for Goodfellas, and I tell the story all the time because it was such an impact on my life. But the closing credits for Goodfellas, the version of Frank Sinatra's My Way done by Sid Vicious is what rolls as the credits are going. I'm like, and I remember hearing that song and it was just like life changing. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And my mom's like, that's a Frank Sinatra song. My parents were very bohemian, so it was like, you know, she's a music aficionado, and so she's like, oh, that's a Frank Sinatra song, but that's not Frank Sinatra singing it. So we watched the credits roll and then looking through the soundtrack credits at the end, and she's like, oh, that's Sid Vicious. That guy was in a band called the Sex Pistols. We were like, oh, cool. I said, oh, I want that song. I want to get that song on cassette tape. And for my Walkman, and she's like, well, I'll take you down to the record store tomorrow and see if they have it. So I went down and I said, yeah, do you have Sid Vicious My Way? And he said, not on cassette tape. And he's like, what? Where? I said, well, do you have the Goodfellas soundtrack? He said, no, but I have this. And he pulled out a copy of Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have that.
And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, I'll say, you know, that's the same stuff. And I said, okay. So I bought that, and it was just over after that.
There was something to be said by getting the cassette tape or the album where you could just get it, open it up, look at the artwork, see the lyrics.
I was actually going to make a comment about that because like record sales are like at an all-time high like right now. And I think that the reason why is just for the fact that with a lot of younger people, everybody's always constantly looking at their phone, and then like iPads and stuff, and with like vinyl and records are so big that it's just more of like, okay, you're holding it right in your hand.
Well, that's really what, you know, our kind of what drives our business is that mindset right there, is that now we're stepping away from the convenience of MP3. You know, in that rush for convenience to be able to have your library at your fingertips, we forgot how special it was to be able to collect some tangible format of music that really defines us as a person, that you can invite your friends over to your house and they can look through your CDs or your vinyl and you pull it out and, you know, you're introducing people. It's more than just pulling something up on your phone and
just a song, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just one song, it's a whole album. Yeah. And that was always the great thing about growing up in an era where you had to buy the whole album. Was you know, you started out buying it for one track that you heard, and then the next thing you know, you like all the B-sides.
Oh yeah.
So that was always a great thing, you know, and go in and read all the liner notes and find out who was a guest appearance on there, and you're like, who's this? Who's that guy? You know. You get introduced to other music, and you know, we lost that somewhere along the way with the convenience of MP3 and digital download. But
even Spotify, it's just, and I feel like music right now, well, not even music, but just the overall way of streaming music and listening to music is just garbage, man.
Well, it's complicated, man, because, you know, they're trying to sell stuff, and so what's going to happen is we have these algorithms that are keeping track of our musical taste, and they're throwing shit at us and saying, okay, you like this, you must like this, you like this, you must like this, and it's like, it's not always the case. So, you know, it's kind of taken some of the organic qualities out of discovering new things via your friends or groups of people, or you know, just old-fashioned going to the record store and grabbing something you had no intention to grab just because it looks awesome.
Right. I remember going, like I said, I went every Tuesday and going to the new release section, just going through, I'm like, wow, look at that album cover or the cassette cover or whatever it was at the time.
I don't know what it is, but I want it.
Yeah, I mean, that looks cool.
How many Iron Maiden albums do you think sold just because the cover alone?
Absolutely, man. That's a perfect example.
I was talking to someone about this today, about like, especially growing up in like a very strict or like religious home, it was like music was like not a thing you were allowed to have. And so when you could get your hands on something, like my first cassettes were like Porno for Pyros, Jane's Addiction, Soundgarden, but also like the Bodyguard soundtrack. Like it had like really like this crazy eclectic like
That's a
Hotel
good soundtrack,
California,
though. It
is.
Chicago.
It's like Whitney Houston had some great songs.
Beatles Revolver. Like I
Thanks to Dolly
remember,
Parton.
I remember each and every of my first
You know, I mean,
of
that-
everything.
that
you know?
absolutely.
And that shapes you as a young person, but also like we were talking about doing a dating podcast in the future. That's one of the first questions I ask someone. What do you listen to?
Oh yeah, it's a good question.
Because you can kind of gauge how someone is as a person if you know what their musical taste is. It's such a huge influence on our lives.
It's kind of like, do we have this in common? Like, because I think you're kind of cute,
Right,
but like,
and-
do we have this
Right,
in common?
and I think that's what in establishing all forms of relationship outside of business, you're always looking to create common ground with people. Music is just a wonderfully easy thing to create that common ground with someone. I mean, you might have very little in common with somebody except for the fact that you both absolutely adore and love Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And that makes that person really okay. You know, the great thing about music is it kind of transcends that bridge of religion and politics and all the bullshit that comes along with everyday life. And you see people from a lot of different walks of life who can gather in the same spot with the common bond of a love for the same kind of music. So that's something that's always special.
You know, one of my favorite things to do on a date is play like what I call the YouTube game. And what I do is one person picks a song, and then the next person goes, all right, well, that song reminds me of this song. And you just keep on going back and forth. And it goes to some really, we talked about that. Yeah, it goes to some really great places. And then you find some
It's
you
telephone, but for music, kind of.
and then you find some really great cover songs by artists that you wouldn't think.
You just find
do that.
you just really dig deep into like obscurity because everyone has that pocket full of gems that they're reluctant to just throw out there and share with other people. But when you break down those barriers, it's like, oh, you like that? If you like that, man, you should really check out this
check out
because this touches my soul. Because that's what music has the ability to do, like almost more than anything else. It really has to just kind of grip your feelings and move you. It's like there's not very many things in the world that do that.
Or it can also steer you away from people, because sometimes I find myself, if I tell somebody I'm like a massive Tom Petty fan, and they're like, I'm like, I don't even know how to talk to you anymore. Like, I if you don't like Tom Petty, like, I don't know.
You're a weed.
I gotta go. I gotta get the fuck away from you.
Right.
Like danger.
Absolutely. So that was getting back to what we were talking about, that was all of those things kind of amalgamated to a point where it was like time to provide Kingman with something like that. And it's always been a dream. I always wanted to own my own business. I always wanted to be in a setting where, I could talk about the things that I love. So it's been a dream come true.
Do you think do you feel like you're changing people's lives?
I think yes. That's
that's
such a great question because
you're changing people's lives, man.
That's such a great question, man, and I think that's probably one of the most fulfilling parts of our job, owning the record shop. Is I see people come in with their kids, or I see kids dragging their parents in who aren't really that interested in being there, and then they pick up a copy of an album that everybody loves, like Fleetwood Mac Rumors. It's just an album that everyone is just like, yes, this is.
How can you not?
Also, if you show up to
that's another.
If you show up to Shady Grove Records, you'll receive a free copy of Rumors.
Right. No, you won't.
I'm just joking.
Well, no, but that's so true because, my son's father brought him into the shop, and my son immediately was like, "What are these things? Cassettes? I want those things."
Right.
And then we went and bought him a cassette player because he was just absolutely in adoration of like cassettes, and it was like, how can you like stop your kid from like exploring all these different formats of music that have been over the years, you know.
Sure.
Now he has a huge cassette collection.
That's
and
awesome, yeah.
he loves going to the
Like-
record store.
I still have my cassettes, like, because I didn't know what to do with them, and I'm like, they're kind of pieces of my life, so
Right.
I didn't get rid of them.
How's business? Is
No,
it?
it's we've been very lucky. We opened in November of 19, and April and May of 20 we were closed because of COVID. And I'll tell you this: it's your first year in business in a global pandemic. If you survived it, it really teaches you how to adapt and overcome. So it was really cool to survive it and figure out a way to still thrive as a fledgling business in the midst of government shutdown and all these crazy things that were happening. It was so we're still
And are
very-
you guys right downtown?
yeah, we're right over on
haven't
on
been-
Andy Devine.
I think
Okay.
with you
I
guys
haven't been there
too,
yet.
you and your wife are huge pieces of this community, and everyone wanted you to succeed so hard. And I think that's such a cool thing about being in a smaller town too, is knowing people personally in these mom and pop shops and knowing they're struggling and wanting to support them during like the hardest time you've ever had.
Yeah, we definitely had it. We had a huge rally in our corner when everything started. From the time it started, to present, everyone that's really just supported us. It's been amazing.
Do you feel like you became a better business owner because of the COVID?
I think
Just from,
that
like,
you
having to sell stuff online.
You bet. You learn. You have to learn how to evolve and adapt instantly, and it's not like over a slow period of time where you're hedging your bets against other things. It's like, okay, here's where we're at. It's all in. Like, we're going to do it. We have to give it 100% all the time if we're going to get people to remember who we are and what's going on. So,
And speaking of post-COVID, First Fridays are back
hell yes.
downtown, and where we're sitting right now, next Friday night, you will have a pop-up store out here.
Yeah, so that's how it all started for Shady Grove. Actually, was our when we first decided to open a record store. I had a huge record collection, but I just started buying as much vinyl as I could locally, and then in the tri-state area. And at one point, my wife was like, "Okay, look, are we going to open a record store for real? Because we have like 10 or 12,000 records in our garage, and it's a lot. If we don't, that's just ridiculous." I'm like, "No, we're going to open it." And so I was, lucky enough to have Tim Schritter in my corner and Carrie and Jesh and Tim's like, "Hey, you know what you should do is you should have a little pop-up record shop at the brewery. It's going to give you a real clear-cut idea of how bad this town needs something, if you're on track." And we did, and it was amazing. I mean, it was such a great night.
Pop-up shows or pops up all the time. Like, even like, I feel like when they have that a show we're playing, I feel like you should do like a little pop-up there too, man.
Well, we're doing one on the night before. That's what's crazy. It's like, so you guys are
I'm not playing the night
Right,
before.
I know.
What if
and
I
it's-
wanted to get you up to do some ELO or something?
Right. No, so we're gonna do a pop-up shop here next Friday on the 7th, and
Yeah.
so
No, I'm stoked that you guys are, here in town, because it's just something that, like, the overall town needs. Like, I feel like it adds culture to the town.
Right.
I don't even know if it would be culture, but it's changing people. It's
Something.
changing lives.
yeah. I mean, that's
And it does. You're right on spot. Like, I keep telling people that I run into from all walks of life. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, what was going on downtown? What was
nothing.
going on in this town?
Yeah, this town downtown 5 years
downtown
ago
was seedy.
nothing.
Well, not 5, I would say no, but 10 or 12. Like, you were
Yeah.
down here after
Well,
you.
yeah.
5,
You
yeah.
didn't really hang out down here at night. I mean,
Time passes quick because 5. It has come up in 5 years, and it's
I think that it all
credit
started.
should go to like the some of the younger folks who own the shops.
So
like
the
Sarah.
credit, I think, in my opinion, guys, like the credit really goes to Scott and Nancy Rhodes for opening the cellar door.
Yeah. That's what
I think they did that in 2009. I think
They
or 2010.
Yeah.
I love
They were
those
it.
people.
Before them, the only things that were really down here, the reasons that people came down here were to eat at El Palacio. There were a couple antique shops.
Matina's or something.
Go to Matina's, or if they were daring, it was go to the Sportsman's.
Yeah.
But at the time, downtown was kind of
sporties.
downtown was kind of an island. Like if you were venturing down to Sportsman's, it was a rarity because everything was uptown. It was the bowling alley and Timeout Tavern and Tequila Bob's and the Sundowner and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I
all
love
of those.
downtown.
So
Like,
when Scott and Nancy decided to open the wine bar at Cellar Door, it really changed things downtown because everyone took a look around and said, "Well, it's not bad down here." And look at this little place that they've created. It was the first time that we had a bar in Kingman where there weren't bouncers every weekend because everyone was gonna get drunk and fight. It was like a place where you could. There was a place where you could go where you could have a beer or have a glass of wine, buy a bottle of wine, and in a relaxing atmosphere. And there was no place like that in Kingman before they started that.
Yeah.
So
They did like the spark, and you know what? They probably are the ones that inspired other people
For sure.
to start.
Well, and also it's like
Cool stuff.
even like with like Tim opening up Black Bridge, it's like I've always told people, and I've told Tim numerous times when I was wasted, is that if it wasn't for Black Bridge, like the Swillers definitely wouldn't be the Swillers. Like we would still be a band, but like Tim was just like, yeah, play here anytime.
Yeah,
or
be
like,
our mascot, right?
Or
Like,
when people were like, oh man, that band last night. I remember getting a beer like the next morning, just kind of hungover, and someone calling, and I was sitting there bullshitting with Tim, and someone called Tim and was talking about how we offended them like that night or the night before.
Job well
And
done.
Tim was just like,
Right.
oh, okay, well, I'm sorry about that, blah, blah, blah. And then he hung up and he's just like, oh, you guys offended people. And it's just like, oh, shit, man, I'm sorry. And he's like, I don't give a fuck.
We're
Like,
doing our job's
like,
only half done.
He's like, you guys want to play tonight?
Not
You're like,
everyone called in yet.
I guess if you want us to play tonight.
Right,
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
if it wasn't for Tim and Black Bridge,
That
like
was
our band would not be the band
Well,
that we are.
he also opened up the brewery to a lot of local artists too,
Oh, yeah.
which was way cool that he let people hang up art down here and kind of opened up downtown as an art hub also because local art is so important for your community. So now there's, tattoo shops down here and art shops down here, and that's awesome. But it's expanding all throughout Kingman.
I don't think Tim ever
because-
really said no to any idea that
Yeah.
people asked him about,
I know there was like costume parties here all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
That's what I really like
I
because
want
I'm like a
one.
theater geek.
Oh, the
like,
theme
so-
nights are always a good
yeah.
time.
I know.
That was it. You always knew it was gonna be a solid night. The Swillers were playing, and there was a theme party going on here. You're like, okay,
and
it's
also,
gonna be a good time.
Also, like saying with the theme parties, man, if it wasn't for the theme parties, like, dude, just those alone added hours of music to our sets, man. Because we
Right.
would have to learn, like, oh, we're doing an '80s party in a month. Well, we got to learn 4 hours of '80s music, and then it's like we would learn it, and then it's like Tim would be like, oh, that was great. In 2 months, you guys want to do a '90s party? It's like, shit. All right, so we got to learn 4 hours of '90s music.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
we
just-
had a toga one yet?
I think maybe.
Like,
I
because
don't know. I was always
toga would
blacked
be
out
like an
drunk.
anything goes. Like the music. Like I think we need a toga one.
Like, what are we gonna play to? Like, you guys have to learn. Like,
Well, you'd
some
have to do like
Roman
no, you'd
flutes
have
and
to
orgy
do
music or
no,
something?
no. You do
Like
it.
stuff
You
from,
do
like,
it.
You
The
do
game-
anything
That's what
you
I was gonna say,
want.
you do like
'cause
you do an
toga's
Animal
like
House,
whatever.
an Animal
Like
House
showers
themed
and
party
stuff.
where
Like, you
where
just
everything you
soundtrack
do is
for
just
Animal
classic
House.
60s soul, right? Like
That'd
let's
be
just
good.
do a 60s
That would be
soul night.
cool.
That'd be freaking great.
Can we
man.
get a toga then?
Right.
Like,
No.
can we make this happen?
We should have started this
I don't
way.
know, is it-
Toga.
Aren't you
Toga.
booking all the shows now?
I'm down for a toga party, yeah.
Yay! We got the bartender on board.
Book shows here.
There's like 18 people doing it at this point, but somehow it all comes together.
Right?
So,
We should have started this
I know,
way
Like,
earlier in the
everyone
afternoon.
showed up.
I know.
Because I think
Like
we
at
could
2.
we could have gone on forever about this. Usually we have like an outline about what we're gonna do, and we're like, well, let's just wing it.
We were gonna free ball
I
it.
think we'll get like a solid 40 minutes, and we're 40 minutes in now, and it feels like we're just getting started. So
All right, let's grab some beer and move it to somebody's house. All right.
We
Coffee hasn't worn off yet.
I live right up the hill, so.
Did you
But-
ride your bike down here too?
No, I don't have a
Okay.
bike yet. I want to
got a
get a beach
broom.
cruiser. I think that would be fun.
My God.
A broom.
I rode my bike down.
I'm just joking.
That was a good one.
I'll have a lot of
Nobody
answering.
caught
I like
it.
it.
I was like, that's funny.
all right, is everybody down and doing this again?
Sure.
Yeah, you
All
bet.
right, cool.
Yeah, when? Are we leaving here and going somewhere
Is our
else, or
recorder
I
running
can't- I
out?
gotta-
Seriously?
No,
Oh.
no, but they're closing up here.
You can't
Oh,
drink
they're-
any more beer.
Yeah,
They
beer's-
won't let. Am I allowed to go get 2 more quick ones?
You
Yeah.
better hurry up, like really quick.
No,
and
we can stop this and do another one up there.
Oh, okay. Whatever you
But
guys
no,
want to
go-
do.
go get another
Like,
beer.
I had to show
All
my.
right.
I was had to do
Snow
like
out.
this
No.
to be like,
No.
and I'm not that sexy.
Oh no, I found that very sexy.
Nah.
Chris is very turned on right now.
As it happens, it's the
Chris, get
Mexican
off
in
my
me.
leg, man.
It's
God
a
damn it.
Mexican in me.
Right. But yeah, I mean
Scars, the
downtown
fat, the weird
downtown's
chest hair,
thriving, man. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm just happy that it is thriving. You know, I even like I quit drinking. That's like I still have to come down and hang out. You know. Actually, and also it's like with Black Bridge, I feel like I don't feel judged that I don't drink. Like every time I come in, they always have soda or Sprites for me.
And I won't. You know, been fighting this for years about drinking, and I'm having a beer right now. That's probably a whole nother podcast right there. But at the same time, like, being in a band, like, we're gonna go out. There's gonna be like ladies and people partying, and your band's called the Swillers. How do you kind of get around the whole concept of like, I don't want to drink?
I played a show in Havasu with a band called Bullet Pill that does like Social Distortion covers.
Yeah.
And got blacked out, wasted, told a bunch of people I really care off, and almost jumped out a window. So it all came into a screeching halt, and then our drummer Ryan and the Swillers grabbed me and pulled me out because I rode down there with them, and I had a nervous breakdown, started bawling on his shoulders, and then decided I need to quit drinking. And I just think it's just one of those things where you just decide, because it's like it just seems like the party wasn't fun anymore, and I just drank because I felt like I had to. And then I quit drinking, and actually it's like I feel like people are scared because they don't know how to interact with people when they stop drinking. Because like with me, I'm in a band, we have fun, we party. I drink because it loosens me up, and I drink because it makes me more sociable and able to talk to people like a lot easier and say shit that I wouldn't normally say if I was sober, and which became such a big personality of mine that the thought of quitting drinking was just like, well, how am I going to be this person?
The aspect of social drinking, it definitely has a sliding scale of diminishing returns.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're like,
Yeah, but it's
3
like how-
beers and he's awesome. 6 beers, he's okay. 10 beers and it's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, but you know, you come to a point where you're like, how am I going to be this person or be that sociable? And I don't know. People can drink and control it, and I can't, because if I have one beer, I want to have an 18.
Yeah, that's just a tune-up. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like me. It's like I get anxiety from drinking, but it's not the anxiety of like. I mean, my anxiety is basically like if there's like 5 people around and we have a 30-pack, I need to drink as much beer as I possibly can before it's gone because there's 5 of us, and usually the 5 people that are drinking with me can drink just as fast. So it's tons of
a
anxiety.
race.
Yeah, it's a race. But I mean, I don't know. It's like after quitting. And it's been over a year. It's like I quit drinking, I quit smoking pot, and I feel 10 times better. And I feel more happier because all my depression is pretty much gone, and I'm not overthinking everything as much as I was. So I just think it's a personal choice for somebody to do it. And if people want to drink, that's fine with them. But I've come to a conclusion where it's like I can't do it because it just ruins everything.
Well, it's a hard one. It's like I'm in the same boat. I'm one drink away from a drunk. Like, you know what, I drank this, I drank 2, I drank 6 before this. Probably go drink some more. There's no such thing as like, let's have a couple drinks and talk about this. It's like, holy shit, man, it's on.
Well, it's like having it's like Cheez-Its. You have a big box of Cheez-Its and you can only have one Cheez-It. It's like, I'm gonna eat that whole entire box of Cheez-Its because I love Cheez-Its.
Especially if they're the Tabasco ones.
Tabasco ones are good.
Hey, this has been awesome, and hope we can do this again. But we gotta wrap this up because they're closing here.
I know. We talked so much all the way through last call.
Yeah, damn.
It's all right.
All right. Well,
thanks
thank you,
for
Black
having
Bridge
us
Brewery.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shady Grove Records.
Yeah,
Thank you to all
come
of
see
our
us
guests.
next Friday. And
Next Friday, the pop-up store.
First Friday.
First
Starts
Friday.
again.
yeah, live after 5.
Then-
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to Sarah Ferry for really kind of
Yes.
spearheading the whole thing and making all of that
I
happen.
love Sarah.
Yeah, she's awesome. She does so much for downtown.
And then May 8th, the Swillers, Evil Empire.
Souls Condemned, Good Heart, all the fun music that you can think of. It's going to be a good
And
show.
Shawna.
Shawna, getting tattoo, right?
Yep.
Call for your appointments.
Yep.
No walk-ins.
Well, not right now. It's tax season.
Okay.
Don't forget to put your deposit down.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And tip. Thank you.
Okay, and Aaron, any plugs?
Not right now.
Okay. All right. Well, Reality Redemption, find us on Spotify, Amazon,
Did you
Apple.
say serious?
We're on Stitcher, which is now owned by Sirius. So I don't know if you can go to the Sirius app and find us or not. But
Just try it.
They're going to kick us out of here. All right, so we got to go.
Okay.
Okay?
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
ya.
All right. Thank y'all.